You know something else that's almost over, Jay? The DCEU.
Pretty bad.
It's almost
Got one more banger.
one more banger, one more big budget movie, another sequel to the only billion-dollar DCEU film, actually, and that's Aquaman 2. Unfortunately, things aren't looking too great. In fact, things are looking like it's gonna be another DC box office disaster to close the year and to close out the DCEU. Between basically every superhero movie this year disappointed, with the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I would argue still should have done better than it did. That's a movie that barely broke even, if at all. Everything else has lost money, whether it's Marvel or DC. When you look at DC the past year, Black Adam was a flop. Shazam 2 was a massive flop. Blue Beetle sucked. The Flash is one of the biggest flops they've ever had in the history of Warner Brothers Studios. And now to end the year, we have Aquaman 2. And Aquaman 2 early box office projections continue disastrous 2023 for DC movies. A couple weeks ago, it came out with the first projections between $32 and $42 million over the weekend. That would be less than the Marvels made opening weekend. It could have longer legs. It's coming out over Christmas. You know, it's projected right now domestically to have $105 to $168 million. We've seen a lot of movies fall very short of those projections in recent memory. But either way you slice it, for a movie that probably well over $200 million, probably in the $250 million, if not more range, because of all the CGI, because of the reshoots that they did, it looks like a nightmare. But we did finally get a real, a close glimpse at Amber Heard in this movie, Jay. Even though it seems like she looks devastated. This is the glimpse that we get of Amber Heard. Tell me if you can find it.
We've got breaking news.
I'm gonna kill Aquaman and destroy everything he holds dear. Destroy.
Global meltdown is imminent.
The world ain't free.
Did you see it?
Not at all.
There we go. There she is. 2 frames. I keep going those 2 frames over and over again. This is her looking devastated. These are the only 2 frames they gave me.
Oh, I hear you.
She got to pass a big log, Jay. I think that's what's going on right here. But man, they have hit her so much. I guess there was another like shot that is also her. I guess right here, the back of her fucking head, which might be the best way to look at her if I was a betting man. But yeah, that's the shot we get of Amber Heard. If this thing does worse than the Marvels, so I will say this, I think this has a better chance than the Marvels does of like taking off and having a decent run. One of the problems is this movie was carried by the international box office last time, especially China. Do you know how much money Aquaman made in China, the first Aquaman movie?
No idea.
Almost $300 million.
That's why I thought it would do better than others, because when you look at like Avatar 2, didn't really do that great in the States, but like overseas, that movie, like everybody wanted to see that film. And so I was just kind of thinking the same thing, that Aquaman will do much better overseas than it will be here.
We don't see numbers like that though anymore. China has like populated their market with their own stuff. They started making their own movies, which do really well. And we just are not seeing the same returns from China from movies that are made here.
100%.
Here's the thing. First Aquaman movie made more in China than Avatar 2 did.
Did it really? Interesting.
Avatar 2 made 250 million. No, about the same, 250 million.
Okay.
250 million in China and 250 million in China for Avatar 2 as well. But yeah, Aquaman is an outlier. Aquaman did really fucking well. Look at this. 291 million in China for Aquaman, the first one.
Next one was South Korea
at 37 million. Maybe we see another recovery like that, but man, the projections are miserably bad. This is a movie that's coming out over the holidays. It should do really well. It should be something that gets even families out there, but with the state of things, with the state of the DCEU, it looks to everybody like it's going to be another superhero disaster on the way.